I want to ask you about repetition's part of quarterback play. The verbal repetition, the film repetition. Accuracy comes pretty easy to you. Joe Burrow feels like it comes easy. The ball comes out. Kyler Murray's got just a nice baseball rhythm to it. I watched Trey Lance, and aesthetically, it's not pretty. Now, Phillip Rivers wasn't, and he was pretty accurate.
Right.
There's arguments about Josh Allen. So I watched 2 Josh Allen college games because I heard about this kid from Wyoming. So I watched the Oregon game and the Iowa game, and I'm like, oh boy, this is a lot of work. This is a raw pony. He needs a trainer. And all of a sudden you look up and it's like, okay. Matt Stafford's been really successful. He's about a 62% completion guy. So you don't have to be you. You don't have to be Kirk Cousins. But where do you land, Peyton, on coaching accuracy? Where do you land on that? Because Trey Lance worries me.
Yeah, look, the better timing you have with your receivers, the more accurate you can be. Obviously, there's a better chance to consistently move the ball, right? Every time you receive a kickoff, I got an accurate quarterback. He knows where to go. He's been playing with these receivers for a couple of years. I think we can go 80 yards on every single possession, right? That's kind of how we felt when we played, right? We didn't care where we got the ball on the kickoff. I used to get so mad at, a block in the back on a kick return. I'm like, just get me to the 20. Get me to the 20, we can score, right? But starting on the 10 because you clipped, that was always annoying to me. And that player never had to answer in a quarterback meeting room, right? Because he's probably like a safety that clipped that, special teams meetings are separate. So anyway, I'm getting off subject. If you're not super accurate as a coordinator, you're going to have to pick and choose your times, when to take shots, when to try to have these explosive plays to shorten drives, right? It might be a sprint right throwback screen to Kittle that's going to get us 50 yards, and now we're in the red zone, and now we can maybe get a touchdown. So, but for Trey, to me, it's about the reps, right? Anytime you're in quarterback competitions, right, or not getting on the field, your accuracy, your decision-making, your play is always going to be challenged, right? The best way to learn is on the field, right? I 28 interceptions as a rookie. We won 3 games. But what I learned in that rookie season, there's no way we're going 13-3 the next year if I don't play every game as a rookie. Eli says that the 6 games he started with the Giants compared to the 10 he sat behind Kurt Warner, no comparison at all, right? On the field. Get in there, see just how fast these linebackers are, see how much ground these safeties can cover. And you don't really get that in practice. You don't get that in the preseason. You get that in games, right? And division games are faster than non-division games. Playoff games are faster than regular season, right? So, for Trey, it's just get him in there and let him learn, and hopefully you can win at the same time, right? The 49ers are used to winning, right? They're not looking for a 3-13 season. Like, first pick in the draft, there's a reason that team's picking first in the draft, Colin, because they stink, right? And so right. That was tough for me as a rookie. But I think the supporting cast around Trey, Samuel, Kittle, I think they can give him a chance of success. And I think Kyle Shanahan knows the positions to keep Trey in to give him a chance to be successful.
Being successful, it doesn't matter if it's Peyton Manning, LeBron, Drake, it doesn't really matter. You've had success, you have your wealth, you have your legacy. I think one of the great challenges is, are you still coachable? Are you still curious?
Yeah.
Everybody's curious as they're fighting like mad to belong. Everybody's coachable. You got to a point where I think rhythmically, intellectually, you kind of changed it. Nobody ever talked about pre-snap stuff before Peyton Manning. They really didn't. My whole life, that just wasn't a discussion. You're going up with 3 audibles, different counts, and the great quarterbacks all sort of change it. To give Russell Wilson credit, we didn't even look at 5'11 quarterbacks like 10 years ago. I think he got some guys drafted. So as you were successful, as you had a Super Bowl, because I do think there's a very few, but there's a handful of guys, Aaron, Tom Russell, not that you were harder to coach. Was it harder to be coached when your way had proven to be all-time stuff? Did you ever look in the mirror and think, because I've thought about this, Peyton, I've thought, hey man, don't get ahead of yourself. Listen, be curious, try new crap. Take me through that journey for you.
Sure. No, being coachable to me is the only way to go about it. I love being coached. I used to get angry when I wasn't coached, when in a meeting watching the film, when I made a bad decision or my footwork was terrible and my quarterback's coach didn't say anything. And I'm like, hey, wake up, speak up. That was the wrong footwork, right? I stepped as in the shotgun. My first step was with my left foot, should be with my right foot, whatever it may be. So I used to love being coached. I was coaching myself hard. Don't get me wrong. I was like, every film session that I ever went in, Colin, with the coaches, I'd already watched that film myself, right? I think that's a pretty good lesson for a quarterback. When you go into a meeting room with your offensive coordinator to watch the film of the game, you should have already seen that game yourself. You control the clicker. You're writing your notes down. So I was coaching myself hard, but I wanted to be coached. I wanted to be corrected on my mistakes. I wanted to have someone stay on top of my mechanics, my fundamentals. At the same time, I wanted the coach to give me the freedom to make a change if I saw something. I mean, Colin, there's this great debate. What's the best way to call plays? What's the best view? Is it in the press box? Is it on the sideline? Both of them are debatable, right? The press box is calming. There's not a lot of noise. You can probably make better decisions. On the sidelines, you can look the players in the eyes. On the sideline, you get to feel the game. Debatable. There is no debate that the best view is out there playing quarterback. You can see everything in real time. And if you see something and you know what it is, to be able to change the play and get into a really good play, or most often get out of a bad play. Okay.
Right.
We've been trying to run this play to the left. We finally call it, and all of a sudden their whole defense is shifted that way. Why are we going to waste the play on that particular down and distance? Why can't we just check it and run the other way? And then later, maybe come back to that play to the left. And so, half the time people used to say, oh, he's always trying to get him into the perfect play. Not true. Getting us out of bad plays, because you only have about 60 in the game, and 5 of them are going to be the difference whether you win or lose. So all of them matter, and all of them count. So I wanted my coaches to understand that I was studying. I was going to work hard to earn that freedom to possibly change the play. But at the same time, on fundamentals and basic quarterback play, I wanted to be coached hard. So to me, there was kind of a mix there.